couldn't see me! He didn't see me! He literally didn't see me! He looked right at me and then he started to look away! They made CS pay to win! I can't believe it! Did you see me hiding on the bar? He said no, dude! He even said no!
Why are you rude, boy?
Dude, they don't see me! They don't see me! Dude!
Oh my god.
Whoa, guys, what were those clips all about? Before I tell you what those clips were about, they just added an update which adds a storage unit. A storage unit is an item that costs 1.75 euro, which allows you to have more than 1,000 items in your inventory. You get to name it whatever you want, and you put items in the storage unit by depositing items, clicking on the item, then going back, and now they're inside of your storage unit, and then you can just click them and retrieve them, and you're good to go. So basically, you have infinite inventory space now, which is a really cool update. Now let's see what the hell those clips were about. Hello boys, it's a guy nobly from us with an... No, that sounds very wrong. And if you're wondering why my character model is not one of the new cool ones, it's because I'm logged into my second account. And why is my main account logged in and playing CSGO? Well, because I'm here and Linda is next to me here. She's helping me with a video.
Hello.
And in today's video, I'm going to show you guys why the new player model skins are a cool concept, but may not be such a good idea for a competitive game like CSGO. Now, these player models are a really cool concept, and I called it several years ago when they added gloves. I said that the next step they're gonna take is to either add skins for the player's arms that only the player can see, or full-on player models. But I wasn't so sure that they were actually going to take the step to add the player models, because there's so many things which are good and bad about doing that. The good parts is just you can trade them and they look cool, and it adds more skins to the game. And in a competitive game like CS, those perks, those pros shouldn't weigh that heavy. And now the cons of adding player models which are custom that the player can choose themselves is that there are definitely going to be benefits to having different characters on different maps. There's a reason some map makers choose a certain specific character model for their map. They know that if the map is green, like the new cache, they're going to want to have a player model which is contrasting to that so you can easily spot it. Now, if you have a character model like this, SEAL Team 6 Soldier, on the new cache, you're going to be invisible. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video. Now, this is the clip that sparked the interest for me to make a video about this, because this went kind of viral and a lot of people saw it and they were like, there's no way this is real. So thank you very much SRK for letting me use this clip. His links are in the description. Shout out to you, bro, for letting me use this. But here he is playing overpass as one does, and he's going to push towards B as a T. And look, do you spot him?
Je peux smoke event si vous voulez.
Putain, on voit trop.
Like, what? When I first saw this, I saw a screenshot, something like this, and I was like, there's no way. It took me like 5 seconds to spot the guy. He blends in so well. It's insane. I really didn't think that this was real the first time I saw it, because it's so hard to say. And this isn't the only spot either. This is another streamer called No One on Twitch. Thank you as well for letting me use your clip. His link is also in the description. But he's playing Inferno as a terrorist, pushing out of apps, and look if you spot the guy.
Bunker dead. Be a little bit.
Little bit clear. Grave clear. A little bit. What the fuck?
He even says what the fuck? Now, where was he? Well, I rewatched it and I was like, dude, there's literally no one here. Well, yes there is. He looks like a fucking flower pot. Dude, how can this be a thing? This man is literally a flower pot. If you play 4-3 and 4-3 stretched especially, it gets even worse. But this is a pretty usual way of clearing when you're jumping out of apps. You just quickly check everywhere and see if you can see anyone, and then you don't, then you just keep going and you think pit is clear. But because this CT is not blue, he's fully green. He doesn't register that he's there. That's why he didn't spot him. If this was the regular CT model, he would have definitely seen him and he would have killed him. So it's more than just one spot. It's more than just one case, one scenario. This is going to probably affect a lot of games and probably a lot of outcomes of games. Now, after seeing these clips, I want to go into CS and I want to try it for myself. So imagine you're just a terrorist here pushing B on overpass, and you look in here. Oh, there's no one here. There's no one here. Oh, and then you see him, but it's far too late, because he's gonna have killed you already. The regular CT models on Overpass is this very high contrast blue, which contrasts the background of this like sandy concrete color, but now that you can choose yourself, it really blends into the background. Like you can see, it's basically the same color. Now the problem is, you already know that he's gonna be there, but if you didn't, this is much harder to spot than if a regular CT player would be sitting there. Now, basically, this is the problem that player model skins create. And it's not only Overpass, like there are plenty of maps where the custom player skins would create a problem. For example, the Ground Rebel Elite crew I think would blend in pretty well on maps like Dust 2 and Mirage. There might be places in Kitchen on Mirage where the Enforcer player would blend in very well. And Ava as well. Linda's giving me the death stare now. So, since I really want to try this, and you know that whenever there's an update that kind of breaks the game, I like to go balls deep, I went ahead and actually bought a pair of gloves. These are the Sport Gloves Arid, and I also bought this the Safari Mesh, factory new, so it has the most amount of color, which really match the skin. And also I bought an M9 Safari Mesh to just prove to you that even the smallest details kind of make a lot of difference. Because the last time I showed you, when Linda was sitting up there, she actually had a bright water M4 and very dark Bloodhound gloves, and a Gamma Doppler Phase 2 bayonet that has a lot of green on it, so they kind of stand out a lot. This is so stupid! You're literally invisible! When I do like this, I have to like double check, like, do I see anyone? Is there anyone there? I don't know, dude! So whenever you're playing Overpass now, with these skins, you have to like pre-fire, because you never know if there's gonna be a hidden person there. Why is this a thing? I know that skins for players are cool, and before, we've had glove skins, and knife skins, and weapon skins, no problem. There's never been a problem, because they're so small details, but now, with the whole skin of the character being customizable, it really kind of breaks the game. And now this is only one spot. This is the one that I saw from the clip, which I even thought, like, no way there's actually a player there. Now the gloves aren't really necessary, and neither is the knife. I just wanted to go super overboard to prove a point if all skins have the same color pattern. This player skin in and of itself only costs under €3 at the time of making this video, and it's probably just gonna keep going down. So is it pay to win? Imagine, some people, they can't put in €3 into the game, but for a lot of people they can, and they will get an advantage if they buy this skin and they play angles like this, where you blend in. It's kind of crazy. Like, I can't believe that. Well, I can actually believe, because I mean, Valve have done stupid shit in the past, but this has to be like a foreseeable issue with adding player skins, right? They must have thought to themselves at some point, yo, this is kind of stupid. Maybe we should stop smoking crack and like start developing the game like regular developers. And then Gabe Newell said hell no, and then he ingested an 8-ball probably. Now at the time of me making this video, as I said in the beginning of the video, they added the storage units, but they also added a fix on Overpass. You can see they even credit SRK. But here's the kind of weird part. They write boosted ambient light on Great Outside Monster B-side. They changed the map in order to accommodate for their player skins. That's kind of weird. So they're choosing to keep the player skins but change the map rather than just make the player skins not like abusable. Now I actually saw on Twitter, Zool, shout out to you for once again letting me use your clips in my video. His links are also in the description, but he had a 900 IQ solve to this problem. As you can see in this clip, as a map maker, he can change the color of the models even though it's the custom models. So this would be a really good solution to the problem. You get to keep your model, you get to keep your cool skin, but when you play a map, it gets appropriate colors. For example, blue on Cash. Now, I didn't get to try this myself, but I've heard that on Cash, the new version, which is very, very green, you may remember Alex's review of the map was literally it green. On that map, I've heard that this player model, the FBI SWAT, is very overpowered and invisible. Because imagine, on cache, you're supposed to see the blue player models as CTs, but they're not. This one is green and would blend in super well with the background. I think even this one, the SEAL Team 6, would blend in very well as well, especially as his details are green and tan as well. And I think this one would blend in very well as well, because it's green with green details and tan details. All of these would blend in so well. Now the question is, how are Valve going to approach this in the future? Are they just going to keep changing the maps and making them brighter or darker and changing the colors until this isn't a problem, but the maps look like dog shit? Or are they going to change the colors, like I said before, the Zool idea of changing the color of the new models based on the map? I mean, I don't know. Overall, it's a cool idea with player skins, but I think it's kind of a clown fiesta when it comes to it, because in a competitive game, you really shouldn't be able to do something like this that's kind of pay to win. Also, I think it's kind of obvious and self-explanatory to say, I think probably player skins are probably going to be banned in like major competitions and most professional play. They might have it so the spectator camera, like the observers, can see the skins, but not the in-game players, because there's just too much of a variable to allowing people to have their own skin. But yeah, basically this is just me complaining about the effects of player models on competitive play. We'll see what Valve does in the future. They've solved the problems before pretty good, and obviously they're not just gonna let their game get exploited by these player models, so they're going to fix it somehow. I'm just hoping that they fix it in the right way. Now I'm going to put a lot of shit into my storage units that I'll show you in an investment video in the future. Very nice.